What you are seeing is not, I'll repeat that, is not trick photography. You are watching in slow motion a woman soaring through the air while doing controlled turns, using her body like the fuselage of a glider. And the cameraman is flying with her, both falling through space from 1.5 miles above the Earth at a speed of 120 miles an hour. The newest sport of the space age, the fun of poise and balance, brought to you on film by the perfectly balanced whiskey, Carstairs White Seal, for the man who cares. Skydiver Lew Sanborn took these pictures with camera mounts he specially designed for free fall photography while dropping at 120 miles an hour. At Orange, Massachusetts, 1,000 new enthusiasts come every year from all over the world. Whether 16 or 60, they find parachuting no more expensive and much safer than snow skiing. Unlike military training, sport parachuting at Orange requires only 4 hours before beginners are ready to jump. Sport parachuting differs from old-fashioned parachute jumping in many ways. For example, there is no jumping, even by experts, when the wind is more than 18 miles an hour. After ground instruction comes the first practice jump. For this flight, each parachute is attached to a line that opens it automatically. This is called a static line jump. With the wind already calibrated, from 2,500 feet above the target, the jump master signals the student to leave. And there he goes. Arching the back with arms spread as in a swan dive gives complete body control. Below us, we see the landing area and the target. The ground instructor uses a public address system to direct the students as they descend. They are told exactly what to do by the amplified voice of the instructor. Because sport parachutes are designed with large openings in them, they can be controlled like sports cars. The larger white canopy is designed for jumpers weighing more than 180 pounds. The bigger the canopy, the slower the rate of descent. The most interesting point in watching jumpers land is in seeing how close they come to target center. For sport parachutes can make landings as easy as jumping from a 5-foot ladder, usually. Only when new students have made 2 excellent static line jumps will the licensed instructors approve their going on to the next stage by pulling a dummy ripcord handle. They practice reaching for the handle that will later release the parachute canopy before trying it in the air, wind and weather conditions permitting. The training schedule requires 3 dummy ripcord pulls while jumping with a static line chute that opens the canopy automatically. Should the student not perform correctly, the parachute is still safely opened. Only after 3 consecutive successful dummy ripcord pulls are students allowed to open their parachutes manually. It takes 6 to 8 static line jumps, however, before a student is cleared by his instructor for his first free fall, exiting at 3,000 feet, falling for 3 seconds, and then pulling his ripcord himself at 2,800 feet. Because sport parachutes have a deployment sleeve, there is no violent upward jerk when the canopy opens. Experts paint long delays in the sky with trails of flour from openings in bags strapped to their legs. Skydivers consider it their own form of skywriting, and there is a standing reward for anyone who can spell out Carstairs. The canopy's open gores stabilize the floating ride down. They also reduce the rate of descent while permitting turns in any direction to land on target. For the first time in history, parachutists can move forward at speeds up to 12 miles an hour. so that it is no longer a trick to jump from 7,000 feet or higher and land on or within inches of the target. Many times they land standing up. But the true lover of this sport of the space age, whether a college student or a stenographer, gets his enjoyment not out of short delays, but out of skydiving. At Orange, Massachusetts, ambassadors and housewives, doctors and airline hostesses all fall for the free fall. Falling freely for 30 seconds or even more before pulling the ripcord at 2,500 feet. This is the scuba diving of space, using air instead of water. It is as though your arms were wings, your legs the tail surface of an airplane. Unlike high diving, skydiving gives no sensation of falling or speed, only the pleasure of soaring buoyantly, the relaxed enjoyment of the quiet sky. Mankind's ancient dream of flying like a bird is another dream come true. In the scene you are about to see, the jumper will guide himself over for a close-up of the extra altimeter he carries to show you his altitude. If you look close, you will see that he is above 4,000 feet. Only slow-motion photography can reveal the form of such maneuvers as this. Back loop and front loop, basic tasks in the advanced skydiver's repertoire. The reason this parachutist seems to be rising is that he is controlling his descent so that the cameraman is falling faster than he is. A spectacular performance is the passing of a baton from one parachutist to another. Note the way they use body English to control their approach. They can vary their speed of coming together by as much as 60 miles an hour. Here is a champion skydiver doing the world-style maneuvers required for international competition, where parachutists are judged on high-speed series of 360-degree left and right turns, followed by back loops that must be perfectly balanced, like car stairs. The 400 organized parachute clubs in the United States make over 75,000 jumps a year and work up maneuvers like forming a ballet pattern of 3 jumpers arranging to rendezvous in space. Keep in mind that all 3 men are falling 120 miles an hour while coming together at 5 or 10 miles an hour. As in any other sport, you keep trying for perfection. The perfection of guiding your body through the air as deftly as figure skating on ice, of tacking with gravity like sailing into the wind, and then floating under sails of your own down to earth under a canopy with the strings of a towering harp that you control by deflecting one or both sides of the openings to change direction or reduce forward speed, turning from sky divers into sky sailors, in a sport that only 10 years ago not even a king could enjoy, but today is becoming the king of sports within reach of everyone. People who care about sports usually care about whiskey. If you care, try Carstairs for quality, taste, and value.